Welcome to the Good, the Bad, and the Music podcast. I'm your host, T. Davis, and I am happy to be joined again, first repeat guest, the one, the only, Brother Dusty
What's
is here
up?
in the studio.
It's good to be back.
It's good to have you back,
Got the
man.
drum set in the room this time.
Yeah, I did that just for you.
Yeah, love that. Perfect.
So, a lot's been going on since the last time you were here. You were here July 30th. Well, July 30th is when that last episode dropped. And you've been kind of all up and down the highway and
that's
riding a lot.
That was a lifetime ago,
Yeah, that was a minute ago, dude.
Yeah, I think after that, my band sort of went on like a few like little tour runs and went in and out of some management, and I've built my website since then, which is by now will be public. By this episode be releasing. Made a lot of merch. Since then, I was telling you before we started recording, trying to do the solo thing as much as possible. Been playing like almost 2 to 3 times a week by myself. It's cool too because my band has reached a point where we can be a little arrogant with shows and like turn down a lot of opportunities and focus on keeping our standards high. But I'm now taking this journey where I'm trying to build a full-time life and career playing by myself as well to pay the bills. And with that, it's like I get to be new to Nashville again, and I get to be completely humble. And dude, I'm playing open mics. I'm playing writers' nights. I'm playing writers' rounds. I'm opening up for literally anyone who asks me. And I'm going around and I'm networking. Because in the rock scene for full bands, it's like I already know everyone I feel like I need to know. And going around and networking in the rock scene at this point, it's just like it's a lot of the newer kids in town. And they're all cool. I love making friends and stuff, you know what I mean? But that's just to go out and have a good time. But in terms of like the networking aspect of everything, it's like I feel like there's not really much out of the local rock scene at this point for me to go like extract and try to do business with, you know? So it's been fun as this songwriter journey doing the solo thing because it's like I get to be, like I said, new to town again, and I get to take literally any opportunity that comes my way, no standards. I'll play for a sandwich or less, you know? And I'm just trying to get reps, dude. I'm trying to, I started off on drums and bass, and now I'm really stepping forward and trying to not hide behind a band anymore. I'm trying to sing more and play guitar, which is my like least best instrument. And so I'm just playing all these songs over and over and over until I feel like they're not only mess up free, but I'm starting to learn like embellishments and ways to add like little things to take them to the next level. So it's been fun and humbling, and it's been cool because even some of these, like, a lot of writers rounds are it's more of the new people in town. But every now and then you see somebody and you're like, God, that's amazing,
Yeah, writers' rounds can be a pretty mixed bag. It just depends on whatever it depends on the round.
Yeah, because I played your old writers' rounds.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first steps in what I'm doing now. And I've just been going and going since then. And I plan on at least spending this whole year just doing that,
Yeah, and you did a great job at that. Like it's for that to be your least comfortable method of performing.
For sure,
I thought you did a great job.
Thanks.
And
it was tough playing next to you and Kevin Niehoff. Yeah.
Kevin kills it, man.
Yeah, both
that
you
dude,
guys were. I was like, man, I got a lot.
Kevin is like a one, like his songs, especially in that like pop sensibility, are really, really good and like catchy. He's got a strong voice, and like the dude worships John Mayer, and it really comes out in his ability to like the riffs that he comes up with, and he's like doing a bunch of this shit where he's like singing and playing these like syncopated things. But
I booked him for a gig up towards Louisville, and it fell through, unfortunately. They double booked us. They told us the week of the gig, hey, we actually have 2 talent buyers, and they didn't communicate, and they both booked this show, and I was like, dude, it was messed up. So
That
hopefully I
sucks.
can eventually, link up with him again.
Well,
So
he's from there, I think, right?
yeah,
Isn't that
yeah,
why? Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna have him open the show solo, and then have a couple like full bands after that. Yeah,
That kind of shit happens all the time in this
yeah,
world, dude. Like people just that's a frustrating thing. Before we started recording, you were talking about how yeah, you're trying to get out of doing everything
yes,
yourself, and like
yes,
you want to start delegating some of the more behind the scenes stuff to other people if
yeah,
possible.
yeah,
Um Talk about that, because I feel like you do a great job with the networking. I mean, I met you at Twisted Tea, like
yeah,
at Jacob's show
yeah,
back in like
yeah,
what would
yeah.
that'd been like a year ago
That's
now.
almost 2 years ago.
No, it would have been last year.
Oh yeah, so it would have
Yeah,
been like the beginning of last year then.
yeah.
Okay, wild.
Um,
And
I,
I knew of you before you moved here because they would talk about you sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I know that you've just always been, like you said, out and about all
Yeah.
the time, and you've got like you're dabbling in so many different genres, and like you've got a bunch of different kinds of sets that
Yeah.
you've got like different lineups in your band and stuff. That's a lot to manage.
It is a nightmare. I'm a record label, and it's a lot. And a record label is a team, and I'm not a team. I'm one dude. I do all my own booking. I run my socials, obviously, like everybody else. I direct and edit the majority of my music videos. I write my own press releases and get my own press. I do my own graphics. I built my own website. I handle a lot of my own merch, even print some of it. And then, I just worked on 3 albums. I play drums, bass, guitar, vocals, and then I have a rap set, a rock set, a bluegrass set, and then a set with everything combined. And now I'm doing this indie folk blues solo set, and cool, but I hate it. It's just so ridiculous, and I want to get great at music. And I feel like I'm already pretty good, and I have a few steps laid forward, and it's all going great. But it's like I want to really do this thing, and I feel like as long as I am handling 10 projects at once, I can't get into the proper mindset. Like I'll get really in the zone, man, of like writing emails and setting up my merch, and I'll start making a bunch of graphics, and I'll start editing my videos, and then it comes for showtime, and I'll be on my way to the gig thinking, "Oh man, I got to go play music now." And it's like that was the whole point from the beginning of it. And it's not that I don't want to play the music, it's that I am so in a flow state of something else,
Yeah.
because when I sit down and I start playing music forever, it's the same thing. Oh man, I gotta edit this video. Oh man, I gotta write these emails, and I gotta start booking and doing all this like secretary work. And the deeper that I get into any one of those ventures, the more that I have to work to get out of that mindset into the new mindset. And so I'm hoping, halfway through this year, I got to clean those plates. I'm not going to just in the middle of everything, like building my website. At this point, I have 2 steps left before it's like, all right, let's just go ahead and publicize this thing and start announcing that it exists. With booking, I'll probably still be booking in socials. I'll still be running socials, but with videos, I'm gonna cut that at least in half. And graphics, I've been enjoying the graphics thing, but I should not be. That's just an extra thing that doesn't need to be there. And I've gotten good at it, and I've gotten to the point where it's like if anyone ever needs a graphic, I would love to help out just because
No,
I
no,
enjoy doing. But exactly,
but no.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
dude, like you're sitting here, and like I feel like we all get into that because like I went to film school.
yeah,
So like all this shit,
yeah.
like I know how to do it, but like I don't. That's not why
You can't.
I'm not here. Like I love doing the podcast because I love. I don't have a big platform, but I love like sharing it with the homies and like
Yeah.
talking to people about what they got going on. It's fun, but it's so hard when when you are responsible for like every dollar
Yeah.
that comes in from your musical endeavors, it's so hard to like you said, you're constantly like mode switching
Yeah.
and like switching mindsets between the business side of it and the well, like nah, fuck, I gotta be creative now,
Yeah.
and this is
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
because I've just been
Two different
typing
sides of the brain.
fucking emails for
Yeah.
like a day and a half, or I've been
Yeah.
editing, or I've been mixing.
I just look at pictures of my old self and I'm like, man, I used to be a psychedelic wizard, and now I'm a secretary for a psychedelic wizard, and the psychedelic wizard hasn't left his cave in years, and I really want to be that psychedelic wizard again.
Well, I don't think that's exactly fair
Yeah.
for to say that in years because I
Yeah.
I mean I really enjoyed the live sets that I
Yeah.
caught over the past year that your band does, man, because it's like such a fucking unique thing when y'all are
Thanks.
doing your thing live. And
Yeah.
I think, I totally empathize with what you're saying about like I want to be able to do this stuff without having to have a band.
Yeah.
That is I mean, I feel like I have the inverse problem.
Yeah.
Is like I've been doing this shit by myself for
Yeah.
years, and now it's like I'm just now being here is allowing me
Yeah.
to get other people who are way better at the respective instrument to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
work with and stuff. But like, you know, when you've already got all that other shit going on, it does make it hard.
Yeah, I think I'm at the point right now where like a lot of the gigs that we're getting are pretty cool. But we're still getting a lot of offers that it's like I want to play the show, but I don't want to drag 5 other people there and then pay out of pocket for their time. So it's a lot of me just going by myself, scouting out, finding out about the other venues, finding out about the other bands, and then the next time bringing my band there. And making it just being a little bit more strategic with it. And yeah, no, it is funny. It's like the direct reverse. I I just want to be able to, because I've been a full-time musician. This when it happens this time, it'll be the third time. The first time was I was freelancing with like 6 bands, and I was doing mainly Broadway stuff. The second time was with my old band, The Reveal, and we were playing like half original gigs and half Broadway. And this time, my goal is to make it all by myself. That way, nothing can sabotage it. Nothing can stop it except me. And the first level of that is playing cover gigs and mixing my originals in, and then mixing a couple shows here and there where it's just the originals. And then obviously step 2 would be getting all original gigs, and then step 3 would be the ultimate success, where it's like the royalties are pouring in and the merch sales are pouring in, and going full blown, like my music just pays for my life, and that's everybody's dream. But at this point, I know enough people that actually do that in real life to where I can see and connect the dots and see how like possible it actually is. It's unfortunate that it's taken me this long to finally step into this position of my life, because realistically, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, but I should have been going solo and doing what I'm doing now like 10 years ago. I absolutely could have, and I was a lot more obsessed with the idea of having a team. And that's great. And I love doing that. But the moment that one of your team members decides that something else is more important, the entire team suffers. And I want to be prepared for that to happen again, but I want to put myself in a position where it won't matter.
Yeah.
And I'll be fine no matter what. If my whole band quits on me one day, it doesn't change anything. That's where I want to be.
Or if the venue goes, hey, something that we don't have the budget.
Yeah.
You can go, fine, it'll just be me.
Yeah.
And it won't feel like a kick in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So yeah, that's kind of the goal. Like I said, I want to clean all my plates. The website's almost done. I've got a couple more studio projects I'm trying to finish up. And of course, new ideas have come out for new songs and stuff. But ultimately, my goal is like, by summer to have everything that I really don't need to be doing, like merch. I mean, I think I'm on my final merch project right now, and after that, there's something down the road for my next single release. like with Noise, my song that we're here to talk about today. I have a hat. I have the Noise hat. It doesn't say Brother Dusty on it. I'm trying to create. I've got a lot of Brother Dusty merch, and now I'm trying to create just merch, just cool shit that people can relate with, that is not necessarily advertisement, but I can still make gas money at the shows. You know what I mean? And dude, I haven't even announced these hats yet. They've already been out, and I've taken them to a few shows. I sell it's ridiculous. Like, I wasn't sure. It's just a black hat that says Noise on it, dude. Huge. Everyone loves it. I sell so many. I literally sold the first time I brought them out to a show. I brought a small stock and I sold out.
Hell yeah, dude.
So it was cool.
Well, you want to talk about the song?
Yeah, but I was just about to say, with my next song, I'm gonna do the same thing.
So that's gonna be like a thing.
Yeah, I'm gonna try, and I had a poster for Whoa, and then Noise has a hat, and then my next thing, I kind of want to turn it into a its own line that I'll continue hopefully forever. That it's like a different mascot. That's not Brother Dusty. It's kind of like the Travis Barker famous line. You know what I mean? I'm not necessarily trying to go huge budget fashion line, but it's like I kind of want to have my own little brand that has nothing to do with my name. And that is something that I want to do later this year. And I'm just hoping that after that, it's like someone else can handle all of these things, you know? But yeah, the single.
Hell yeah, dude.
Noise.
Yeah. So I just heard it.
Yeah.
And it's sick, man.
Thank you.
It's definitely it's more like you said before you showed it to me. You said it was like more straightforward, like rock.
Yeah.
Driving, like Beastie Boys kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned the Prodigy.
Yeah.
You'd been like, you and your co-writer had been in that vibe. But dude, musically I think it's sick, and I like the tempo change.
Yeah.
That was like the first thing that I said. I was like, yeah, you went more straightforward with it, but you still got like out of the box a little bit.
Yeah.
By like
just
having
enough.
that. Yeah. That was sick. But also topical.
Yeah.
Very very topical.
Yeah. And it's funny because the song was written, I think, 5 years ago, and it was mixed and mastered.
Would have been topical then too.
Yeah. It was mixed and mastered almost 3 years ago, and it was funny because we got it done, and I was like, is this going to be relevant? And in the back of my head, I was like, of course. Like, it's not, this is just the way that the world is, you know? And it's funny because it's more relevant now than what it was when we wrote it. But yeah, so the story of that song is, do you know Nolan Brown from Multi-Ultra? You ever met him?
I think I might have met Nolan. I've met at least one of the guys from Multi-Ultra.
Yeah. So
I think I met Nolan, yeah.
I wrote Noise with Nolan Brown, and I would actually say he had the biggest part in writing it. So him and I had been working together a lot. I was the drummer of Multi-Ultra for like a year, and I had been recording with them and practicing with them and learning all their songs. And then at the same time, he had been engineering my old band as well as some of my solo stuff. So him and I were working together on a weekly basis for like several months. And he likes to just pop out demos, dude. He pops out. I mean, at this point, when he showed me this song, he had 40 demos. And so he was like, I want you to hear this song, and I'm going to pitch it to the band. And I listened to it, and it was funny because I kind of laughed, and I looked at him, and I was just like, we've been hanging out a lot, because it sounded, most of their stuff doesn't sound like that song, And it was one of those things where it's like, he's been recording a lot of my music, and we've been hanging out every day, and we've been working together. We've been showing each other music. And it was like, because obviously, playing with that band had been influencing the way that I was perceiving music as well. And then him working with me so much, I heard when I listened to Noise, like, dude, we've definitely been chilling, And I was like, what's your plan? And he was like, well, I've got 40 demos cut, and we're all going to just sit down and decide what we want to move forward with. And I was like, well, look, you have until the end of this year, and if the band doesn't cut noise, I want it. And he was like, fair. Yeah, that's cool. And I waited, probably 6 or 7 months, and I hit him up and I was just like, hey, like, are you guys going to do that? And he's like, dude, we've already moved on past it. We're already working on other new stuff. So I was like, all right, well, let's get to work. And I would say over a year, him and I, we were both really busy, and we would just come together and we would work on ideas and work on other ideas. He wrote the pre-chorus, he wrote the chorus, he wrote the riff, actually. I rewrote the verses to be something that I would actually say, but it was like he came up with that flow and the cadence of everything. So I just took what he had already written and I put it in my own language, and then I put some new messages in there and took out some of what was in there. He wrote it around the time of like the COVID and the BLM protests and all that stuff. And it was just about division and riots and just all the and I think this was, it might have been when AI was happening, but I think it was actually before the great conundrum of what is AI and what's not. And it was just about everything's going on right now, and there's a lot of fake stuff happening, and there's a lot of fake news. I think this was like, it was written when like the fake news era was really blowing up, and you couldn't tell what was propaganda, and you couldn't tell what was what, and just social media was just overstimulating everybody, which it still is. But that was kind of what it was written about. And the only thing that I really, besides the verses, I was like, we need a crazy bridge. We need a tempo switch. And him and I have been geeking out over the Prodigy, like you said. And we were like, what if we do like a whole slowdown, and then it erupts into like a whole different song, and then we speed it back up like a Prodigy song. And we literally, like, me and him would go into the car and we would just study like the Prodigy and like the different techniques for how they were doing that. And no one actually went out and got, I don't know what it's called, but like some sort of sampler pad where you do everything manually. And so it wasn't like we went into Pro Tools and then we automated a tempo change. He literally went in and like had a knob, and he slowly like, literally did that like by himself. And it,
So did he do that with like the instrumental?
yeah. So we recorded the speed up and the slowdown on one straight tempo, and then he manually slowed it down, and it took him like 10 tries to get it to land because we had the metronome going. So we had a metronome tempo change happening, and then he had to manually slow it down and then manually speed it back up himself while the metronome sort of guided him there. And he was doing it, but to get the one to land on the metronome's one was just very difficult. And so he did that, but I played drums, bass, and vocals, and then he did background vocals, guitar, and synthesizer.
Nice.
So, with the
The
creative,
synth part is
yeah,
sick too. Like that's
yeah,
like that is a nice kind of counterpoint
yeah.
to everything else.
I would say, it was his brainchild, and then I was sort of the will behind it of like, no, let's get this, let's cut it, let's really do it. And I was the one sort of pushing for it. And then we played like an equal amount of the instruments. He wrote the song, and then I rewrote the verses, came up with some other ideas, and then created that bridge. So it's almost like a perfect, and then obviously I did all the work to get it released. So it's like a perfect 50-50 situation,
Nice.
But yeah, I was in that band. It was really interesting. I played in Multi-Ultra for a year, and the deal was I'm going to be your guys' drummer until either A, I get too busy, or B, you guys find your actual drummer. And no hard feelings either way. And we all agreed. And I basically, we were like, well, I bet we could get at least 6 months to a year out of it, and I can at least get you guys where you need to be. And man, a little bit less than a year went by, and my band was a couple months away from getting really busy, and they found Christian, who is now their drummer. And it was really cool because it was all very peaceful, and the way that it worked out was like, Christian came in and he did a trial run, and he played the set, and then I came back in because they gave him notes, and they were like, all right, we're gonna keep Dusty, we're gonna have you play one show, we're gonna let you know what you did right and wrong, you're gonna work on it, and then you're gonna take Dusty's place. And then he would go and sort of watch me play the parts, and I got to go. It was the coolest feeling because I didn't know that this was their plan. I had been writing the drum parts with them. So I had a little bit of creative input, but for the most part, I was there to serve their song and serve their songwriting and serve their direction. So I wasn't sure, like, when they bring this new dude in, um, what's that going to sound like? Is it going to be the same or different? And sure enough, man, I went to the show and I watched, and it was like an out of body experience because Christian learned the exact part, even the fills. And I got to stand in the crowd and watch myself play, which I don't know if you've ever watched your own band play without you, but it is, I mean, it's just such a surreal feeling of like, because you never get that. You get to watch videos, you know what I mean? And you don't really get a chance. Usually, if there's a sub, they're going to play it with their own style anyway, so it's going to sound different. But watching Christian play, it was like I get to experience this band that I play in from the other side of the stage. And it was just really cool, man. And me and Christian are super cool. I'm still super tight with all those dudes. No one's like my brother. Um, and yeah, it was very, very, very peaceful exodus from the band. And I still support what they do, and they're staying pretty busy touring around and stuff like that. So
That's awesome, man. I love a good like it's so funny. I feel like on social media and stuff, people are always going for the like drama, like
yeah,
tell me about how you guys fucking hate each other
yeah,
now.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, nah, it was just nice.
Oh, dude.
That's
Well,
nice.
that was my takeaway from Multi Ultra is they are, the cartoon where it's the Gophers. It's like the Gophers with the British accents that are super polite.
Hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, thank you," and then the other one's like, "Well, thank you for saying thank you," and he's like, "Well, thank you for acknowledging that I was thankful." And
Yeah.
dude, that's those guys.
Hmm.
They are like the most pleasant, kind, like diplomatic dudes, and the way that they run their rehearsals. And, don't get me wrong, like, my style is way off theirs. It was a way for me to open up or even close down because, I like weird, avant garde, crazy out there music, and their music is very drivey, very straightforward, less fills. The drums are basically a metronome. And I had to like embody that and sort of channel like a completely new version of myself. But it was just so diplomatic, and there was no drama, and it was honestly laughable how peaceful and happy and friendly me like leaving slash getting kicked out of that band, which I wouldn't even say it like we, you know what I mean? We
Yeah, you
agreed.
talked about it.
It was like, this is eventually going to happen, and whichever one happens first. And then they didn't happen in the exact same time. My band, like, I probably realistically could have used like 3 more months, but it was those 3 months of me not being ready that ended up catalyzing me to have the space to get where I needed to be. Anyways, it worked out perfectly,
Yeah.
And yeah, I just texted their lead singer. It was his birthday a couple days ago, and we're
What's his
all
name? What's his name?
Derek
I met
Wesley.
Derek.
Yeah,
I
real
met
pleasant.
Derek at like one of the Broadway
Yeah.
band meeting
Okay,
things.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because he plays at Nudies.
Hmm.
I think we would do Wednesdays and Fridays between Nudies and Johnny Cash's R.I.P. Um, and they would switch. I forget which one was which, but you guys are still doing
Dude, it's
Nudies?
kind of nuts, man. They just took us off of that gig for the month of March again.
Really?
They did that to us in May of last year. And like I've been trying to be very diplomatic
Yeah,
on the pod about like not trying to shit on
yeah,
them because I'm not one to like burn bridges and
yeah,
like
yeah.
fly off the handle, but like they texted me like 4 days, like February 24th,
Oh,
and said,
yeah,
"Hey, we're gonna try something different."
yeah,
And I asked, and I always like since I've been in town and we had that gig, and this like I said, this happened in May last year. And after they brought us back in June, I was like, hey man, if things are going poorly, or if
Yeah.
you need more from us,
Yeah.
like please
Yeah.
just tell
Communicate it.
me
Yeah.
that, and at least give us a shot to like
Yeah.
adjust. And that just didn't happen.
I feel like a lot of those bars, they just like to cycle in new bands, and I don't know, man. I think sometimes they do that by giving the boot to some of the weaker links, and then I think sometimes they do it by giving the boot temporarily to some of their more trustworthy acts. That it's like, hey, this is just a month, and then we're going to bring you back. I don't know. The whole Broadway thing is very interesting that's happening right now.
Well, there's so much going on, like with like the tax
Yeah,
assessments, and like I think that the tourism has just been down generally for the last
yeah,
3 years, and with property values being reassessed to what they're being,
yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me if they're not all freaking the fuck out
yeah,
and like really being deeply concerned with what it's going to look like without a mega corporate backing,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah, man, I mean, there's just so much I could say about it. I did Broadway for 5 years. I moved here because my dad played Broadway and I saw it and I was like, wow, I mean, you can literally just go be a full-time gigging musician. And then I did it. And I think it's always been this way. I think everyone has their own experience in Nashville where they move here and they see what they think it is, and then reality strikes and they think that that just happened. My perspective of that was I moved here and there were real bands. Um and over my years I saw a lot of Broadway bands get put together, and there are still a couple real bands and there's a couple real artists, but it just feels like over the years, even since before I moved there, um you hear more and more and more that it's every band's the same band. They're all playing the same songs, which they're doing that because the tourists, those are the songs that they want to hear. Everyone shows up with those covers that they want to do, and then they do it for 6 months and they get their fix, and they're like, yo, if we're going to go park downtown and drive downtown and play 4 hour gigs 5 times a week, let's just go make money. And then next thing you know, they're playing Morgan Wallen and Tom Petty and Leonard Skinner, and it just seems like slowly it is destroying the integrity of everything, and it sucks because a lot of those guys are my friends. And I know that no one's wants to do that, but everyone's adapting to it, and it's allowing like the entire morale of Nashville to sort of move in this direction of everyone's becoming posers. It's like you have to by nature become a poser. Tribute bands, cover bands. It's like that makes more money than original bands, and a lot of people are adapting to that because they don't necessarily have like this artistic drive. They're really good craftsmen. They're amazing guitar players who they don't really know how to write an amazing lick. So it's like they just want to go play all the classics. And I
Mhm.
think that that's a really cool thing. But overall, I think because of that, it has allowed the space in music to shift away from creativity and uniqueness and originality. And, I'm one of those dudes where when something falls apart, to me, it makes space for something greater to hopefully rise from the ashes. And I have no skin in the game because I haven't done Broadway in a few years now. And it's just like, maybe, I mean, either A, everything's going to get corporatized even worse than what it is now. But, a lot of people are joking. I saw like an article the other day that was like, the party's over for Broadway. And it's like, I think the worst thing that could happen is that Broadway just completely has their own little Armageddon and it's over, and the whole cover music industry is just done. And it's like
Yeah,
all the
it's
space would have to be opened up for more and that's just idealistic thinking, but it's like it really sucks for all the homies that would have to lose their jobs. But I feel like it almost could potentially, in an optimistic way, like force creativity. You know what I mean?
the thing that's frustrating, like we yeah, we are playing covers. We were playing covers every Monday, But we were doing shit like the Isley Brothers
Yeah.
and like Rufus.
Yeah.
Like songs that everybody knows, but it's not like the same 100
Yeah.
songs
Yeah.
that every single other band.
Yeah.
Like you do have to do, like you're doing some of those,
Yeah.
but like, I mean, dude, like Max and Jacob and Gabe are like killer
Yeah,
musicians
they're
who
like
can't.
some of the best of the best.
And like, you know, it's cool. Like was basically just like fronting. So I
Yeah.
walk off stage and they kick into Tom Sawyer and play it damn near note for note.
Yeah.
Like that's not happening in every
No, for sure.
bar. But like I have been fortunate, one, like we were talking about earlier, before I moved here, I was playing, you know, 3 or 4 nights a week solo, and it just took me, I don't know, 5 or 6 months of
Yeah.
being here and like doing that thing where you
Yeah.
just go and you do any and everything. And now I have decent solo gigs that pay.
Yeah.
And so I don't like rely on the nudies gig like I did last
Yeah.
year when we
Yeah.
got taken off of
For
it.
sure.
That shit sucked last
Yeah.
year because that was my one steady thing. But for those guys, like I don't have to tell you, there's not a lot of solo acoustic opportunities
Yeah.
if you're just playing drums.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so like it's a bummer for those guys where it's like they've been able to rely on that ecosystem
Yeah.
to at least pay some of the bills. And yeah, dude, I don't know what's gonna happen with all that shit. Maybe like you said, something better
Yeah.
will come of it. But my fear of what actually is gonna happen is that it's gonna become more and more corporatized and it's gonna be like Nashville's version of Times Square.
Yeah.
Where
Or
it's like there's a
everything's like
Bubba Gump Shrimp Company
yeah.
and a Sbarro.
And everything's like Jason Aldean's with the like. I think that they did away with the electric drums. Is that true?
I don't know about that venue, but there are some venues where it's like all direct.
Yeah.
Like 1230 Club is like that.
Yeah.
Like there's no live amps. There's
Yeah.
no stage volume
Yeah.
except however loud you can sing.
Yeah, when my band went down there, we were like, we're gonna be the Black Sabbath, Cage the Elephant, Jack White, like psychedelic stoner rock band, and we're gonna play all the like Rage Against the Machine, the weird side of which unfortunately it seems like that stuff is more welcome now than what it was when we were on.
Oh, I'm sure.
But we started off doing that and 6 months in, it's like, hey, they want to hear it, you already know, you know
Life
what I
is a
mean?
highway.
And yeah, and it just turned into a thing where it was like, yo, like we're not making real followers from this. We're not really selling merch. We're not really getting Spotify plays. We're not making new fans. This isn't a gig. This is a day job. This isn't a show. It's not a concert. It's a bunch of drunk people that we will never see again. And sure, 1 out of every 100 or less will become lifelong followers. I know people that I met on Broadway 6 years ago that are still my friend, but that's a gym,
Yeah, that's not the normal
that doesn't
thing.
really happen. Multi-Ultra is good about it. They hand out stickers and they always, towards the end of their set, when they're about to close, they play one original, and they make sure people follow them. And, those followers might not be organic, all the time, but they get their numbers up and they figure out how to make that work. And I think, in my opinion, from my selfish artist opinion, I think that's what Broadway's for a musician. It's like, I always felt like Broadway was the perfect place for real bands to go down and like half-ass these covers and then take all that money and put it into their band. And that's what I respect when I see that of like hippies and cowboys.
They are the perfect example.
They did it. They did, like, in my opinion, my selfish purpose for why Broadway is even useful for music. Aaron went down and he did exactly that. And that's what I did on a smaller level. Aaron's different because he's been playing in cover bands since he was 5 years old.
Well, his voice is kind of nuts.
Yeah, and he loves Southern rock. Like, he was bred and built to be like the greatest Broadway musician of all time. And he is. He's the shit.
When I saw them on a Monday night, I came out here 2024 in May.
Yeah.
And I walked in on a Monday night at 10 and it was packed.
Yeah.
And when I got there, he was belting September by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
And I had never, like, their earlier records that they put out, I hadn't, like, it's like they weren't writing, and I'm not throwing shade. I'm saying whatever they were writing was not showcasing how absolutely crazy high he can sing.
Yeah.
So I didn't expect that. I walk in and I was like, are you serious right now?
Insane.
And then of course they did, like, Hold the Line and all the Journey shit. And I was like, and he's doing it and it's easy.
Yeah. No, he
and I was like, well, damn. I feel like they've leaned more into that in their later stuff.
They figured it out.
They figured out how to write to showcase that ability. But dude, their live show, and of course Victor was playing with them.
Yeah.
And dude,
I mean, I've watched the whole. Me and Aaron almost moved here together from Kokomo, and he stayed back for a couple years. And for a while, he was one of the only people I could visit when I went home. And I would just, every time I would go back, I was like, "What are you doing? Like, get the fucking. This is nothing. Like, come to Nashville and just watch." And he was just Aaron Sparling. He wasn't doing the Hippies and Cowboys thing yet, and I was there, like, when he met, like, his first whole rendition of Hippies and Cowboys, man. I mean, me, him, and Lambie played a gig together at Crossroads, which I don't even think that's a bar anymore. But, I was there when he met Nolan. He had already known Scott somehow, but, like, I kind of saw the whole thing, and I met Kevin, like, the same week that he met Kevin, and just been watching him, dude, and it's cool because... for me, it kind of sucks a little bit because it's like I was helping Aaron out as, like, helping him get on and getting his first few gigs in town. And then right as soon as he finally got on his feet, my band broke up. And then we got going again, and he was already killing it. And then the band broke up again, and now it's like, fucker, it's like a really optimistic jealousy of just, like, it's really cool because it's like I got to see you. I watched you do that whole thing. Like, I watched his entire journey. I used to work for his family back in Kokomo. I was a pizza boy for his uncle. And so it's just been really cool to kind of watch the whole thing. But it's also like, damn, there was a time where I was sort of like reaching down and being like, oh, here, I'll help you. And now it's like, he's killing it. But it's inspiring, you know what I mean?
But you know how that shit goes, dude? Like, next week, something pops off, and then
like I said, he is so lucky because he was able to transmute Broadway money and Broadway fame and Broadway success because my music is the opposite of anything you're going to hear on Broadway. So I can't necessarily go out and make a name for myself playing Freebird and then go play Whoa. It's not going to translate. But, like, Aaron's music is so commercially Southern rock, blues, that it's like everything he does on Broadway perfectly translates to everything he's doing with original music, and he's giving people the old-fashioned American apple pie. You know what I mean? And he did, like, in my opinion, what he did on Broadway is, like, that's why Broadway's here. But then now it's so oversaturated with, I mean, bro, you'll see it. It's like you'll see the girl in the leather pants, and then the dude with the cowboy hat, and then the drummer who's a goth kid, and then, like, the regular preppy dude who just got out of Belmont playing keys. And it's like, that's not a fucking band, dude.
Yeah.
That's literally...
dude, it's so frustrating, dude, because, like, I set these drums up in here, honestly, like, because we were doing rehearsals and, like, what we wanted to lean into with that gig was, if we're going to be doing a cover gig, let's at least actually play covers that we like really enjoy
Yeah.
and force feed it to these people.
Yes.
And dude, like we're playing It's Your Thing by the Isley Brothers.
Yeah.
Nobody else is playing the fucking Isley Brothers on Broadway on a Monday night. And like people would come in and be like, oh dude, thank God. Cause like y'all aren't playing
It's gotten to that point.
the same, you know, 50 songs that we've heard in every other. It like people who want a relief from country. Cause I mean, look, if you want to hear classic country, you walk into Layla's, you walk into Alan Jackson's place.
Yeah.
Broadway's doing that thing well. You can like, and I dig a lot of that old shit. I like going to hearing that. But like, how many times do we have to hear "Don't Stop Believing," dude?
Well, it's just crazy because that's what people want. And it's sad that I just think Broadway puts you in this position where you start hating your crowd because they end up being the same. They're completely different people from different states and different cities and different walks of life. And then they all end up being the exact same clone of the same annoying stereotype of like screaming Freebird, and they just want Morgan Wallen and Taylor Swift. And it's like, look at that. Like, we're wearing like Paisley 70s jackets with leather jackets and shit. And it's a bunch of dudes with long hair playing a bunch of badass rock music. And then fucking Becky comes up and she's like,
"Yes, we killers."
Yeah. And it's just like, why would we? What are you thinking? Like, why would we know Taylor Swift?
Well, too many people, too many acts, and this is not just on Broadway. This is the like the Tin Roof Circuit.
Yeah.
Too many people have been humoring those fuckers.
Yeah.
And I used to do it at my solo gig. Look, man, I lie to people all the time now. Be like, hey, do you know blah, blah, blah? Nah. And I do, but I'm not. I'm just not going to play it anymore.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I'm fucking 35 and I'm over it.
The longer that we, because I play, me and my guitar player, he is signed to an agency and we play college gigs.
Mm-hmm.
They're fun. They pay twice what Broadway plays. It's fun, but there's a cap on it. There's a ceiling, and it's just going to be there until we're old and gray, still hanging out with freshmen in college. And it's one of those things where it's like, if we don't stop this and just go eat shit for a couple months and go play a bunch of shitty original gigs and make it naturally grow, we're going to get stuck forever and we're never going to go anywhere. And it's like, at what point do you get out of this whole cover thing? Because it's just going to hold you. It feels great now, but long term, I mean, it's going to be the reason that you never win anywhere as an artist. And then you're either going to eventually have to be 60 or 70 still playing covers, which some people love that, and I commend them. Some people love Broadway, dude, and they don't care. They'll play anything for money, and they just love that they get to play guitar for a living. But there's artists that are down there that their ego is fed. Their mom has pictures of them on the fridge because they're a little rock star and they make more than factory money because they're a professional singer. And it's so cute. But it's like, it takes a few years to realize you're going to get stuck here and you're never going to go outside of this one little road. And it's never going to happen until you get to the point where you're like, all right, we're going to put a cap on this. Sure, we'll play Mondays at Nudies. But other than that, we have to go make art and we have to grow that art and we have to the goal should be, let's make Nudies money with our own music touring, you know? And that's if that's what you want, obviously. And you're not going to do that.
You're right. If the goal is not, there's an evolution that I think that like some people go through. Like for me, I was doing the like Death by 1,000, solo acoustic cover gigs in North Carolina. I'm grateful for every one of those. I paid a lot of rent just doing solo acoustic stuff. I moved here, I'm still doing a lot of that stuff. But it, like you said, it's not like the goal.
Yeah.
So it's like striking that balance of, I still want to do enough of this that I can eat.
Yeah.
But I gotta have time that if I can get in front of people and play
dude.
my own shit.
You gotta grow and you gotta blossom the original stuff if that's why you're alive and that's what you want to do, you know, because right now, like I said, I'm trying to play all these solo gigs. And ideally, the long-term goal is make a full-time living playing my own music. Duh. To get there, I need gigs. And right now, you know, the step one of that is the paying gigs want you to play for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
They want covers. And I need to be able to play for 3 hours. Right now, I can play by myself with just singing and playing guitar, which, like I said, is my least strongest instrument. I can do it for an hour and a half now, which is twice as much as what I could do last year. I'm trying to get to 3 or 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where it's like every day I have the option of I can work on my original stuff and I can cultivate a slower process of being an original artist, or I can learn covers, which are going to help me in the short term get there. And there's that weird balance of like, how much is too much? Because the covers that I'm learning now, there's only a few like standard hits, and even those are a lot more of my niche. Um, I'm I might eventually cave and do Last Dance, but like I'm trying to not, dude. I'm doing like White Stripes B-sides. I'm doing some Black Keys. I'm doing some Sublime. But I'm also doing songs like The Head and the Heart and Bon Iver and songs that like no one else covers. There might be like there might be 5 bands in the whole America that are covering some of these songs. And they're probably original bands, and that's just a song in their set. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to put together like a genuine show where it's like, you know, I didn't write this song, but it's like still a part of my product, you know? And it's just a weird thing. It's just like, you know, how much do I freebird versus whoa, you know? And I need to do a little bit of it because I just played a gig with Matt the other day. We were playing at a bar and people really liked the original stuff. And we were told, you know, you guys are some of the best artists that have come through here. We play Call Me the Breeze. Some dude fucking walks up with a 20. And it's like, damn. We're not playing this gig because we're trying to get to Madison Square Garden through this gig. We're here because we need to pay our bills. And I don't want to play that shit. But we're here for 3 hours. It makes me feel like, and then you know, we start playing the other hits, and we start playing what's the the Black Crowes classic. Everybody plays
Hard
it.
to Handle.
Hard to Handle. We hit Hard to Handle. Another dude with the 10 rolls up. And it's like, dude, what if we would have just did that for 3 hours? And then it comes into an integrity thing, and it's like, oh, man.
Here's the way I'll try to frame that, man. We are lucky.
Yeah.
That we are making any money doing any of this.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So
yeah.
when you walk out the door and look, I've played so many gigs where I'm playing those same songs to people who don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer when it feels like I'm Muzak.
Yeah.
But you know what else sucks? Working outside in the fucking summertime.
Yeah, dude.
And I've done that too.
Yeah.
So as much as we all want to, if you're doing original music, you want to get to that place where it's like people are here for you and they love your shit. But the way that you get there is you just make connections with as many people as you can.
Yeah.
So every time you play one of those cover gigs and you are playing that like weird like Black Keys B-sides that it's like someone there, if you care enough about it, that you just play the shit you like.
People,
if you're playing what you care about, and that is evident in what you choose.
It's still so much better. I mean, the floor of being a working musician is still higher than being like a laborer who hates his job. Their ceiling is lower than our floor, which is crazy to think about. And it honestly is like Broadway. I think it's like the worst gig ever. I think it's the best job ever. You know what I mean? It's still awesome.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Because there are I don't know, man. I feel bad even saying this because I was talking to Bree about this on a walk this past week. I feel like when you are attempting to do an artistic endeavor and this is kind of where we're at right now, trying to
Yeah.
pay some bills and still grow that, it's easy for there to be this cynical,
Yeah.
negatively valenced baseline
Yeah.
because shit's not working out 100% like I want it to.
Yep. Yep.
But before we started recording this, as soon as you walked in the door today, you
Yeah.
said, man, I feel bad because like my life's great and everything else in the world is
Yeah.
seemingly going to shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And like, and I totally get that. And
Yeah.
then that cycle of like self-loathing, because it's like I should be stoked for what I've got going
Right.
on
Yeah. Yeah.
and what I'm able to do. But that's just a sign of appreciating that like we have to make something more out of this life that we
Yeah.
have.
For sure.
That's where that comes from. It
Yeah.
comes from a sincere place of like, there's got to be more
Yeah.
than just making a living.
Yeah.
Because for tens of thousands of years,
That's all we could
that's
do.
all it fucking was.
Yeah.
And here we are, popped
Yeah.
out into the fucking world within the first 200 years of
Yeah.
like anything resembling convenience.
Right. Yeah. Modern
And we're trying to
society.
still make
Yeah.
something of this thing.
Well, you know, I just played my first 3-hour gig, and I had a buddy come in and do the set in the middle. But my first hour, I played only covers that I'm working on, and it was like a restaurant bar, and it was in Gunnersville, Alabama. Have you ever heard of Gunnersville, Alabama?
No, I have not.
Exactly. So it was like the perfect practice. It was just like, no one here cares. I don't know what I'm going to get out of this, but I do not have high expectations. The first hour, I shedded covers that I just need to rep and I need to practice. People kept eating. There was a couple looks that I got, but for the most part, no one really cared. I was background noise. Second set, I played all originals. I get the first 5 seconds into my own song. Everyone looks up. It was crazy. It felt really cool, man, because they were all not there for music. They were there for their chicken sandwich and their beer. And literally, I get, like I said, 5 seconds into the first song, and I'm looking around, and the whole bar is turning their heads around, and they're paying attention. And it was like, damn, maybe, there is something to just, like, streamlining and getting away from all this cover stuff and just going straight in.
But think about that, dude. Because all those people have now heard your original shit.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't know who the fuck you
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
if not for that first hour
Yeah.
where you did the goddamn job
Yeah.
and you played the fucking
Exactly.
whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know what I'm finding? And this is progressively become more the case. I've been doing the solo acoustic cover thing since I was 17 years old.
Yeah.
That's all. I mean, it's longer than I would care to
Yeah.
realize
Yeah.
it has been. There is a hunger in this like superficial ass world where like we're all on these motherfuckers all the time. When you've been playing for an hour and 20 minutes covers and you do fine, it's it's fine. And then you go, do you mind if I play one of mine?
Yeah.
People are like usually really receptive to that.
Yeah.
I've not once, especially since I've been here.
Yeah.
Because everyone's used to hearing the covers.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you go, hey, I got something I wrote. Is that cool if I play that? People get more into it, surprisingly.
Yeah.
And so you almost can get more out of throwing an original in at one of those cover gigs in Nashville anyway.
Yeah.
You can get more out of that and more attention out of that than you can at a songwriter's round.
Yeah, for sure.
Because a songwriter's round is 3 hours of like 12 different people.
Yeah.
And like you're just one of, that's why with our round, it was 2 hours, 3 artists, so that it didn't feel like I'm just one cog of this machine.
Right.
And we're just noise for this place for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Because it can feel that way, depending on the round. But at a cover gig, if you grab their attention,
and then they really like it, yeah.
Then dude,
yeah,
people will come up to you and be like, "Hey man, I have had more people at these cover gigs in Nashville walk up to me and like care about the original shit."
yeah. I always had, I would say every other gig that I did on Broadway with my own band, someone would come up and be like, "You guys have your own stuff," and it was so crazy because we had kind of programmed ourselves of like, we're here to make money. No one wants to hear our shit. And every now and then you'd get that. And then once we played one, the whole crowd was like, "Hey, just do that. Like, we just want to hear you do that." And it's like, you get to do it until Ashley comes up and asks for some more Swift. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you're like, "All right, we're back to it," But yeah, dude. It's
They're all opportunities, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, everything is.
And,
That's how Multi-Ultra was too, man. Their attitude towards Broadway is impeccable. I mean, they are so stoked to just go make that much money playing music. Nolan is like, "Isn't it so cool?" I'm over here being all bitter, and Nolan's like, "Isn't it so cool that all the songs we learned in our bedroom when we were 12 years old pay our bills now?" And I'm like, "Damn, bro. I'm an asshole," like, it's a very good point.
It's so easy. It's so easy to get into that headspace though.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we all are guilty of it.
I think the first 3 years of Broadway is awesome. It's like once you get into that level where you're like, this isn't necessarily where I wanted to go, and what the hell am I doing? At that point, it's when it's like, all right, I need to I almost need to develop a little bitterness out of survival. Like, we gotta
Artistic
go somewhere.
survival.
I gotta progress. You know what I mean? So, but no, I'm out of it now, and everything's going pretty well. I've got a lot of original gigs now that, like I said, my band has been splitting into the rap set and the rock set and the bluegrass set.
Talk to me about that, because my question for you is like, before we started rolling, you were talking about like how you've got like a million different things going on.
Yeah.
Like, what do you feel like having the genres like separated into different band lineups? What do you feel like that's doing for you?
So, the first year of the band, we did this thing where the show typically starts at the blues, and then it goes into bluegrass, and then it kind of turns into a calypso, jazz, gypsy thing, and then that gets jazzier, and then that gets heavier, and now we're a rock band, and we finish it like punk rock heavy, and everyone's trading instruments, and the band's evolving constantly, and 3 songs in, people were like, "I don't know what to call this." 5 songs in, people were like, "My mind is blown." 7 songs in, people were like, "How does this keep happening? Every time I think I've almost figured it out, it gets crazier." And then another level, and it just keeps rising and rising. And the fans loved it. Sending it to people who have not heard it or seen it, like writing the email, pitching it. We had like a booking agent trying to help us out for a second. No one gets it. You can't put it into words and explain it to people. And the only way that we would get gigs was through word of mouth. So when it came to touring and when it came to like getting into different scenes and stuff, no one understood what the hell I'm pitching. And so it was like, okay, we're going to do this for festivals and headlining gigs, but I want to really tap into Nashville's bluegrass market. I want to get back into playing the rock scene, and I don't want to be the one rock band sitting here strumming up chick fucking bluegrass songs. And I have fortunately developed like a strong relationship with the Nashville like hip hop R&B Motown scene. So it was like our show fits in halfway with these guys, but then it's too weird to fit in with the rest of the songs. And so basically what we did was we just cut out all the songs that weren't bluegrass, and then we went and we started booking with all of the more bluegrassy, like the more folk country blues side of Nashville. And then now we're working on our rock set, and we're playing with all rock bands. And then we worked on a hip hop set, and we played with all rappers. And my plan is to get in heavy with those niches to where I can play those festivals and I can dive really deep into those individual markets and empower myself to where we're invincible and we can just go play the original set that I put together anywhere we want and it won't matter. Um, but it sort of opens it up to where every set is a little different. And a lot of it overlaps. You know, the hip hop set is some of the country songs and some of the rock songs. The rock set is everything but the banjo music. And then the bluegrass set is basically everything except we're not going to bring in electric bass. And we're going to keep fiddle and banjo on everything and maybe we'll bust out the horns, you know. Whereas the full festival set is
all of it.
upright bass, acoustic guitar, electric bass, horns, banjos, synthesizer. It's all of it, you know. And we save a lot of time at sound check. That's another benefit to sort of stripping everything down and only doing little bits. Is because everyone has to bring less gear. We have more room in the van, you know. It's been cool. I do acknowledge that it sort of overcomplicates it a little bit, but I think it has piqued people's interest. I think it's really for the sake of art. It's like, oh, you know, I've seen his bluegrass set because it also allows me to overstimulate Nashville a little bit. Ordinarily, when you've been here long enough, you don't want to play every month. But now it's put us in a position where every show is different. So we can play every month. Because yeah, you saw us last month play bluegrass, but now this month we're playing all rock. We're not going to play any of those songs. So it's a different band, you know. So that's kind of the move right now. Our next one, which I think by the time this is out, we'll have already done, is we're debuting the rock set, which is a lot of songs we've already been playing. We're adding a couple new ones, and we're shifting a couple new ones, or we're shifting a couple old ones. We're basically putting together an all-electric rock set till we can start diving in more with the rock scene again. So yeah, I think that there's a lot of benefits. It's a little bit more work, but it's also easier for me to pile on new songs with the band in a more organized format, you know. But it's a more fun juggle.
So the goal is I want to be in all of these individual communities enough
Yeah,
that everybody knows of me
yeah,
and I have a good relationship with them
yeah.
so that when I get those bigger opportunities with the band, everyone goes, I want to go see
Yeah,
that.
well, you know, my birthday party last year was a great example. I booked Victor, Dylan Smucker, and Frederick Weathersby. So I had someone from the country community. I had the Michael Jordan of the rock scene. And then I had like one of the Nashville leaders of like the Black American music in town. And you could see it in the crowd, dude. It's like we had cowboys, we had rock stars, we had rappers and gangsters.
It was fucking sick, dude.
We had everybody. And a lot of people commented on that, and it was like, you know, maybe that's my strength is like, you know, there's only a few bands in the world that will really do that. Like people say like Dave Matthews is like, and I don't sound anything like him, but that is kind of the goal is like, let's dive all the way into where I can eventually open up for some major rappers. Let's dive all the way into where I can open up for some really big touring rock bands. Let's dive all the way into where one day I'm opening up for Billy Strings. But will I be able to open up for Billy Strings if we're out here playing our jazz and rock shit? No. But if we're playing crazy twists on bluegrass music, it might take me a year or two. I think I can do it, you know?
Dude, I just feel like somebody has to get, I don't know. Somebody has to like with the pull just has to go see your fucking full band whole
Yeah.
set.
Yeah.
And they have to sit there and
watch
watch
the
the
whole
whole
thing.
set.
Yeah.
Because that experience that you were talking about of like, oh, I think I have it pegged.
Yeah.
Nah, I
Yeah.
don't. I
It's
don't
like
have it
wait till the
pegged.
next song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Like, you just gotta.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing all the right shit.
I think
my opinion is that is the thing.
Yeah, I agree. I think that someone important, whatever that means, has to see the real show. I think I'm going to meet that person deeper in the niche. You know what I mean? I don't think I'm going to meet that person at the Underdog playing every style that I have. I think I'm going to have to go out and meet somebody playing in a niche and then saying, you haven't really seen what we actually do. Check it out. And then bringing them to a private showcase and being like, this is our full capacity of the whole circus. Because you actually... So Matt, my guitar player, has his own band. And Lenny, my banjo, trombone, bass, he plays everything.
Mm-hmm.
He's got his own band. And so what I've been doing is going and booking, 3-4 hour gigs here and there, and one of the dudes opens, and then the next dude, and then Brother Dusty headlines. And Lenny's band is my band members. Matt's band is my band members. So we're all the same band, just mixing it up, and we've basically created like a tour package. And so it's like we've really put together potentially what can become a 4-hour circus of all the same people. And you're hiring what feels like 3 to 5 bands. It's like a whole festival, but it's only 6 people doing it. And so that's kind of the goal of doing that. But I do think that I'm going to have to dive deeper into these niches. And most importantly, I want to. I like traveling the world musically. I like going and my goal is to become one of the coolest bluegrass bands, one of the coolest rock bands, one of the coolest live band hip hop acts, and one of the best indie folk blues solo songwriters. I want that,
The thing that like was really sick to me, and I caught your show at the Basement. That was where that was where I saw the like full vibe.
Yeah.
And like you did all that shit, and then like you ended with the solo acoustic deal.
Yeah. I need to bring that back.
And I was like, what the fuck did I just watch?
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it. And
Yeah.
so like I guess my question is like, you're releasing singles. I know that you've said that you've got like different like album projects coming to completion, right?
Yeah.
Bro, if you put out a record that was just that set from the Basement,
that's what
that's it. That's the fucking product. Dude.
I totally agree. I love concept albums. And so I think what my strategy has become, in my mind at least, is I want to keep the rock album as a rock album, and I want to keep the country album as a country album, and I want to keep the love ballads as a love ballad album. But you are right. And so what I want to do is I want to waterfall singles in a staggered order, where it's like rock, 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 country, rock, country, 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 song, love ballad, rock again, country again, love ballad, love ballad, love ballad, back to the rock, back to the country, and essentially make my entire career that show. And in the order of the releases, and then, once 4 or 5 of the singles have come out from one of the album, drop the whole album and then move back into the country and never settle for one thing. And one day I would like to do what you're talking about. And my roommate I was talking about earlier, he's huge on that. He picked out his favorites from the rock, his favorites from the country, his favorites from the love ballads, and was like, this is your album. Problem is, the rock album has a very clear concept and storyline. The country concept is like, I want to have an alter ego. Like, I want Brother Dusty to have Old Dusty the Bandit. And if I mix all this shit in, that's dead. But I feel like long term, having Brother Dusty presents Old Dusty the Bandit and having this cartoon character version of myself is going to be better than just being like, oh yeah, I play some rock and I play some country and I play this. You know what I mean?
May I push back a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate the artistic view of the album being a concept, right? Because albums are in they're collections, but the album itself is a work of art. As a unit, right?
Right.
But dude, the fucking live show, being all of that. Here's the compromise. And this is my idea. Okay? Every album, every studio album you release, let it be a fucking concept album. But like once a year, you need to record a live album.
I think that's
where you're pulling from all of it.
Yeah.
So that like that representation of if you come see me live, this is what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Because
there's got to be clarity.
Because think about this, right? You want to book more shows and you want to tour, and you're having a hard time because it's like dude, all of the different genres are great by themselves, right? Because all the songs are good by themselves, right? So if I were to go catch you play an Americana show and it's your like alter ego country vibe, I'm gonna enjoy that. Because I like the songs. It's not but it's not that mind fuck of this is a circus. I'm like it's not that it's bad, but it's not like dude, I'm telling you, homie, like when you came out and you started that show, I was like, I like this. And then you did something different, and I was like, what the fuck? Where did this go? And all of them were good on their own. But in the context of each other, it was like, I can't wait to see what the next song does. And that's what you can't communicate to a booker if all of them are separately. Because if you put out a concept album of all like love ballads, and you go, this is my era, then the booker is gonna be like, well, this is what I expect to get. But then you show up with a fucking circus, and it's like, that's not the love ballad, Dusty. Right? But if you did a live record where it's like, if you want to know what I can give you at a venue, dude,
I agree.
I would listen to a Brother Dusty live fucking record. I would brush my teeth to that shit every day.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great idea. And that's a great compromise. Because I'm very torn. Because like I said, my roommate was like, this should be the record. Fuck all your concept shit. And I think that's my greatest strength. I'm not the greatest drummer. I'm not the greatest bass player or singer or anything. But I feel like my conceptual ideas to build worlds is like my number one strength. And when you take that away, it's just like, well, what do I really have? But the whole circus concept as a record is like, I totally get it. So I think you're right that having a live record is the move.
Do it up big, homie.
Or eventually, you know, like, I mean, I have plenty of songs that have not been recorded yet, plus what I haven't even written yet. And it's like, I would love to eventually have like Brother Dusty, just a self-titled album where I do everything. But I love the idea of having, you open up my discography and it's like, here's Rockstar Dusty, here's Bandit Dusty, here is Dustin, the man who has been in love. You know what I mean? And it's like, I like that you can click on those and enter those worlds and enter those personalities. And I really think that long term, that it's like you can go find the 16-year-old Beatle innocent little kids, and then you can go find when they tripped acid for like, you know what I mean? And it's like, I think that's important. I think that that's really cool to be able to tell that story and have that. But you're so right that the circus thing that I'm doing is what really sets me apart. But I will also say the band has been killing it in the aspect of like, you know, we just did Third and Lindsley.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about that.
We did only our country stuff. Blew people's minds. That, and it's, you know, and we did what you saw at the basement and what you saw at the Underdog. And we just didn't do the end. We didn't do Whoa. We didn't do Hurricane. We didn't do Noise. We didn't do like the heavier stuff. We basically cut it off at Chariot. So we still did the blues into the bluegrass into kind of jazz, and then it was over. And you know, that in itself was enough for people to be like, whoa. And we didn't even play Whoa. You know what I mean? And so
enough of it is related though. Like enough of it is just there's enough without the like because Whoa is just like this is like 8 different genres of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's awesome. But if you throw that in, like you said, in like in not quite the right setting, people are gonna be like, I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah, exactly.
But you do have enough of that set that is cohesive without the more outlandish elements.
Yeah.
That I totally get how that would work.
Yeah.
100%.
It just, you know, it's like if I'm gonna play with all the fucking bluegrass pickers in Nashville and then I bust out an electric fuzzy bass guitar and start slapping and playing breakdowns, it's like, all right, this is like, I like a certain degree of assimilation. Like I want to go fit it. I want to go to Asia and bow. You know what I mean? I want to go smoke in Amsterdam. I want to go like I want to follow the customs of where I'm at. And it's like if I'm going to be welcomed into the bluegrass scene, I want to abide. I don't need to be the dude who's like, nah, fuck that. I'm going to shred. It's like I have a space for that. I can go over here and do that, and then I can go over here and do that. And it's like I want to go eat the egg rolls here, and I want to eat the tacos here, and I want to eat the pasta here. You know what I mean? And then we can have a big festival, and we can do all of it.
So,
you know?
So this is interesting. So this is a very interesting conversation that we're having. Because it's like you're talking about like not wanting to like, you know, offend
to even get ahead of you. My rock music is so a spin on rock music, it's already offensive. My bluegrass music is so not fucking bluegrass, it's already upsetting. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's already, this isn't bluegrass. This isn't Americana. This isn't country. This isn't even blues. I don't know what it is, but it's not that. I don't even need to fucking throw the electric bass. It's not even about not offending them. It's like, I already twisted it. It's already weird and crazy. I can cap that, and I can just not. We've already made everyone in the room be like, "What is this?" Enough to where it's like, I don't even need to overflow their cup. You know, it's already done that in itself. So it's like, I like the idea of like, yo, let's just like control it a little bit because it's already weird. This is not going on a Billy Strings playlist. I wish it did. I wish I feel like my music goes really well with like Billy Strings, Punch Brothers, all those levels of like you've got a mandolin and a fiddle and a banjo and an upright and an acoustic, and it's very southern, but it's not bluegrass. What is it? I don't know.
But that's exactly what I'm saying is that
Yeah.
People who would go to a Billy Strings show would put Whoa on a playlist with Billy Strings shit.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It's like those people are already open-minded enough
for sure
that you're not. There is no their cups don't overflow, homie.
Yeah.
Like I met some guys. I was playing at the fucking airport a couple weeks ago. Billy Strings had just been in town, so like 15 people came through with Billy Strings shirts on who were on their way back home somewhere. And I met these guys from Winston-Salem. They'd been to like however many Billy Strings shows in the past year, massive bluegrass fans or whatever, and were losing their fucking mind because I played 1612 by Wolfpack.
Yeah.
So like, what I'm getting at, dude, is like people who just like good music aren't gonna give a fuck what you do.
I agree with you.
Any genre.
The people in the crowd are not the people that you're emailing.
Right.
And that's where I'm getting at. It's like everyone says what you're saying, but they're not writing the fucking email.
Yeah.
You don't know. You know what I mean? It's like everyone's like, nah, man, fuck it. Like, just do what you want. And it's like, I'm doing enough of what I want in all of these respective shows already that I think I do have room to assimilate and still be the weirdest guy in the room. But until you've had to send these emails and these pitches and not get responses and hear like we don't know what to do with this. You're telling us that you're indie, folk, Americana, blues, bluegrass, but then you're also telling us that you're punk and funk and high electric psychedelic rock, but then you're telling us that you're a hip hop band, and then you're telling us that you're jazz. What are you like? We don't know. You know what I mean? And it's like all these people that I'm trying to do business with, every now and then someone's really cool and they're like, hell yeah, people are gonna love this. But you know, I am getting not enough feedback doing that it's like I need to bust through the back door. I have to infiltrate. I have to Trojan horse my way in, and that's not going to happen unless I at least lie and say, "Hey, we're a weird bluegrass band and we do weird progressive blues, Americana, folk," and then show up and hit them with "whoa" at the end.
I'll tell you what you gotta do, bro.
And then we get invited back.
I'll tell you what you gotta do, homie. You gotta get a show together somewhere here in town.
Yeah.
And get it like packed.
Yeah.
Like packed.
Yeah.
Multi-track record it.
Yep.
6 or 7 different camera angles. And just put the whole goddamn show on YouTube.
Yep.
And when you get the email back that goes, I don't know what to do with this, and be like, well, 200 fucking people did.
Yeah.
Watch this and tell me that this isn't gonna be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you watch this whole set and then you go, I don't know what to do with this, thanks for your time.
Quit your job.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because
it's great.
The fucking live show, that the set that you did at your birthday show and at the basement, like you just need a good enough, and it's not, obviously being there live is not the same as watching a video.
For sure.
But if you can show them how fucking everyone's into it.
The feedback that I get is insane. When we walk in with 6 or 7 people and 20 instruments, I watch the sound guys like almost tear up. Like, damn it. And then when we get the show over, the sound guy goes, hey, I just want you to know you might have been the best band I've ever ran sound for. And it's like, dude, if you get the sound guy who almost shit his pants when you walked in the door with we unload and we cover the stage.
Yeah.
There's no walking space on the stage because we brought so many instruments. And they're just like, well, what's your stage plot? And they see that like 3 of the dudes in the band are going to play 5 instruments. And it's like, it's such a headache. And then at the end of the show, the venue owner comes up, the sound guy comes up, the door guy. People that see 100 bands a month are like, yo, y'all are the best. We've heard it. I mean, we've heard it almost everywhere we went. You guys are the coolest band, or at least one of the coolest bands this venue's ever had. We played Kona Skate Park in Jacksonville, Florida. It's literally a level on Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. It is the oldest skate park in America, and they were like, hey, you're probably one of the best bands that's ever been on this stage. We need you back for a festival. So we're trying to do that this year. But it's like, I mean, dude, I in Nashville, I don't think there's a best band. Everyone here is amazing. But I do think that what I'm doing is unique.
It is.
I think it's one of the most creative, unique things in town. And sure, we're not the best players, you know, but
yeah, but y'all aren't slouches either.
Who cares, you know?
It's like y'all. I mean, y'all are good.
Everybody's
are
great.
Y'all are
good
but
there are bands that are not super creative, but arguably like all virtuosos.
Yeah,
like
but y'all are
gods.
taking the tools and the influences that you all have and making something new out of it.
Yeah.
And I honestly, dude, and again, I'm you do you, homie. I'm telling you what in my experience,
yeah,
if you can somehow communicate your live show with that set
Yeah.
to whoever.
Yeah. I think
you need dude, you just need like you need like an hour-long YouTube video of a live set at a packed show. And it would.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that the show itself would be great. Long-term daydreaming like Coachella, Bonnaroo.
Yeah, it would.
Lollapalooza, whatever. But
y'all would fuck hard at Bonnaroo.
I think getting into some of the big bluegrass festivals would be dope. Getting into like Rockfest and getting into like all of the modern big rock festivals, I would love to do that. And I'm willing to chop myself in half to go do this and then go do this. And
I don't think you even have to,
access to that. I just like, I kind of like that I can do that. I think it's fun. I think that there's not a lot of artists that can do that. And I do think it's going to be hard to market, and it's almost very parallel to like doing booking and socials and videos and graphics. It's like doing a little too much, but I think long term being the guy who, like, you got like Post Malone who, he comes up doing this and then he switches to this and now he's country, and then you got Jack White who's like, well, we're the White Stripes, now we're the Raconteurs, now we're Dead Weather, now I'm just Jack White. It'd be cool if I could raise that and be like, I'm in the rap world, I'm in the rock world, I'm in the bluegrass world, and I'm also just doing all of it as a giant circus together as one. And then I'm also doing this like Hozier shit over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think when you get the email back that says, wait, are you telling me that you're ba 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 ba?
Yeah.
The response is yes.
Yeah.
Book it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The last time you were on here, the thing that you said was my genre is fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And own that shit, dude. I mean, you do.
Yeah.
When like
so
you need to tell these motherfuckers, book us one time.
Yeah.
Book us one time.
We'll just prove it. Yeah. My genre has evolved into electric fuck you and acoustic fuck you.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
You heard it here first.
It's still yeah. It's still fuck you, but we've branched out into multiple flavors of different fucks. So sweet.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on, dude.
Dude, thanks for having me.
Once again, the new single is out as of the release date of this podcast. It is called
20th.
Noise.
Yes.
It's sick. Stream it, share it, all that shit. I'm gonna have to look at those hats that you were talking about, bro.
Yeah. They're just straight normal black hats, dude. Great though. Perfect.
Brother Dusty.
Yep.
This has been the Good, the Bad, and the Music podcast. Brother Dusty's been hanging out.
Thank you so much.
Tell them what the new website is that will be out, that will be live as of this release.
BrotherDusty.com. That's it.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Trying to expand and give people a website where you can actually go and read blogs and go interact a little bit, and it's not just a bare minimum website. So I'm excited about that.
Regardless of whatever kind of show it ends up being, whether it's the whole full-ass circus or it's the country or the rap or the rock version, go see Brother Dusty live wherever he's coming and support the homie. Dude.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, man.
Hell yeah, man.
We'll see how it evolves over the next year, and if I'm back to just doing one thing.
Hey, man.
We'll see.
Anytime you want to come back and hang out, we'll keep doing it. Anytime
Appreciate
you put something out, I'll promote it.
Cool.
Go see this motherfucker live. And yeah. Y'all take it easy.